All right, we're back. Yeah, I was MIA for Labor Day weekend. So yeah, we're gonna do normals. Just go right across the board. If I had to give a quick overview, though, I guess of his normals before I start, is that well, I don't think he has any really standout normals. Ideally, like every normal he has like some kind of drawback to it. Maybe except for 2S, but I guess those would be a lot better if it was an actual low. But we'll get to 2S when we get to 2S. Let's talk about 5P. I'll just do them all across. We'll do standing, crouching, and then jumping, and then command normals. Okay. So here we go. So 5P. The range of it's really, really good, right? The big problem is that it doesn't hit crouchers, but it does have like a cool like feature, like because it doesn't hit any croucher, right? So you can do stuff like something like, well, just imagine I get thrown, but yeah, you can do like 2P stand, 5P with. It looks kind of cool. But you know that's something I've been trying to play with a little bit more, something like that, right? The other use of it's actually really good for stopping like stuff like this, like air dashes, especially moves that are like. Because if I were to try to 6P, well, I guess I could 6P that, but like in the scenario where like your jump ins are gonna hit too deep, you ideally would like to use a 5P because it'll actually stop it because it's just faster, right? That's how it's used. I use this move a lot against Bedman because for whatever reason Bedman's jump is just short enough that this 5P will actually just clip him all the time. I can't think of any other matchup where I use it a lot more than that though. Just specifically Bedman. 5K, so 25. This is a really important normal, mainly because like it's for stability. I wouldn't really recommend it as a poke. I mean, it probably does its job, but the range that you want to use it in is it's not ideal. You're just gonna be too far to really get anything, and counting in 6H, because like you're gonna be using it at like max range where 2D might not even combo, so that's why it gets a little bit scary. Though I do recommend you learn how to do dash cancel Kara DP, right? Let's see if I can do this real quick, like that. This is really good for this scenario specifically. This is the one I do it the most in, and I've been trying to incorporate a lot more. It's a little bit. Oopsies. Let's see. Like this. Like that. So real quick, like, if you don't know what's actually happening here, so we're doing a dash cancel, right? We're doing the dash blind, we're pressing forward afterwards with the dash blind, and then we're just canceling as fast as possible. We're canceling that dash into a DP, and it just makes it so that this will combo at ranges that it normally wouldn't. Because there is a dead zone where 5K DP doesn't actually hit, and so if you do the Kara cancel, it'll actually kind of work out. Let's see if I can find it. Like there, right? So if you were to do the Kara cancel, the Kara dash cancel, you will always work. It makes it reliable. It's really important for these really weird counter hits you're going to be getting with Sin, because a lot of times it's going to be a counter hit L count that you want to convert from, where even if you do 2K, 2D might not connect, so that's why I recommend you just kind of do 5K DP. Okay, I was 5P, 5K, Far Slash. So this move got really buffed in Season 3. I wouldn't say it's anything super special, but it is fast, and just having a fast normal is what's really important about it. It converts to everything, right? Pretty much. There's no real flaw. The one thing that I've been wanting to do that I haven't really been incorporating is that because the new buff to 2H gives you a combo from anywhere, using a fast point into this is really strong. I haven't been doing that. Just be mindful of that. Like, if you do get a Far Slash and you can confirm the range that you're doing it in, you can get a combo now, which is a lot better than it was before, right? Because typically, before, if you did max range buttons into 2H, and then you did, like, the overhead, it wouldn't combo. You wouldn't get a combo, so that's why this is a little bit more interesting to try to go for now. If you can. I'm still incorporating it. It's still new to me, so, yeah, no pressures there. Hard Slash. This is a huge button now. This is mainly used. I use it for pressure, not pressure, but like I guess pressure and for Oki after a knockdown. So a lot of times what you just want to do is connect. Like, I guess I'll talk about how the move works. They raise the level of the move, right? What does that mean? That means that it has more hit stun and it has more guard stun, and this makes it so that if you do 5H into overhead, I guess I'm gonna turn off throw because he's gonna do this every time. Actually, I'll do this too. Or if they do anything but a 2-frame move, which doesn't really exist, you just win. Note there is enough of a frame hole if you do L-Kite from 5H that they can throw you like this, so that is the counter, but between Hoof Stomp and L-Kite being the same frame, it's kind of a hard look. It's a hard factor for the opponent to think about, in my opinion. That's also another big thing. Like, after a knockdown, it's pretty good, assuming that you have the frame edge to get it. It's really good because it chases backdashes really, really, really well. So, like, just an example. And it's confirmable because of the 2 hits. Right? It's super good for just doing that. So if you don't want to do a 2S or something or like that, or like if you're like out of range for a close slash, just doing a pretty far 5H is really ideal because it also leads into the pressure. So like if you do something like, oh no, I'm too far for a close slash 5H, and then see even then if they backdash, right, the second part will cover you. So that'd be that. Oh, 5D. Wow, why am I talking about 5D? This is actually pretty relevant for this character. Because at some point, this is really reactable. It's going to be reactable at much later parts of the game. And so using 5D for the sneak in is pretty good. And given that there's no hole for them to really match between a close slash into 5D, it's pretty good. Of course, the big problem is that you have to RC it into a combo or whatever afterwards. 2P, a bar A button, but you do have conversion rate. This is pretty blessed, right? A lot of characters don't have this, but Sin definitely gets to do it. Oopsies. So we can turn a 2P into a combo. If I don't know if I want to spend too much time talking about the combo conversions, but 2P, 2P, it's like basically you're gonna do two. It's typically gonna be two jabs anyways because you want the time to confirm. But you do that, DP dash, and then that. And so this is pretty good. It is pretty stamina heavy, but the fact that you can convert it is really really good. If you want to do like a 5-frame punish, you actually get a bit better combo because you can do close slash, right? And so there's a little bit more combo viability with if you could confirm single hits. It's also true for 2K, which would I guess we can go directly into 2K. Oh, but I guess there I'll talk about it. I don't really use it. I really don't use 2P a whole lot. I usually I'm more intent because I think when they're in this range, it's pretty scary for Sin in my opinion because like your buns are just too stubby, and so by the time like they have like if you have D, your buns are gonna whiff, so you kind of have to like figure out how to get out. Anything else for 2P? Not really. I don't really like to use it. I'll strictly use it for like a punish scenario or something like that. But in terms of like, oh shit, I'm in trouble, I think I'd rather just hold FD and block or just mash TP. Okay, so 2K. It's actually the recovery on this move is like kind of crazy. So it's pretty good for just throwing out against characters that have to do like a lot of forward advancing moves, like maybe like Chip or Milia or something like that. So you could usually catch them like trip in, right? The problem is that like the range that you're going to be doing this for the checks leaves you very, very lacking in confirms. Like see, they can't do to that. It doesn't go into Big Driver. 6H doesn't combo unless they're crouching, and so it's kind of tricky because you're gonna have these scenarios where you have to use 2K as like a way to check your opponent, but it's just not gonna give you any reward. Of course, you could confirm it into barrel. That works, but that's a pretty rough one. And then if you're wondering about 6P, that's the same. 6P will work. The problem is that if they're not standing for some whatever reason, right? It'll whiff or not. There you go. I mean, like I was saying, there are those ranges where it's gonna whiff, and then you're gonna be in a bad scenario. Just be mindful of that, I suppose. 2S, I can do a whole video on 2S for saying, in all honesty. I could probably do like a 30-minute TED talk on this move. So this move was his best move in season 2. I still think it's one of his best moves, but the fact that Far Slash is just a faster button is you just use it a lot more now. But we'll get into 2S right now. So 2S is super disjointed at the tip of it, and it's a really good stop sign move because it is your most active normal attack. Well, I guess single hitting attack, right? This is 6 active frames, and it's really good. Like, I like to, like, if I have a life lead, I'll really just leverage throwing this move out and just kind of stop them from moving forward. And because you're crouching, it makes it hard for air dashes to, like, really be a threat because you just be like, burp, 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 burp. Right, just hitting buttons like this. And of course, it combos in the beat driver. There is a hole. So, how am I going to test this real quick? We'll do guard, counter attack settings. Yeah. So, like that. So be careful about that. Of course, if you actually want to cut that. But with the buff to Elkine, which we'll get to when we get to special moves, which will probably come up tomorrow. You can just do that, right? And then if you want to do like you can do this. Right. So there is counterplay if they do mash 6P. I find that I've played like 4,000 games and I rarely see someone 6P it. It's not really worth it. And there's also the range where they can't 6P it and they get a counter hit with Big Driver. So the problem does exist, but I don't think it's too big of a worry for me at least right now. So 2S's other good use. So I've been wanting to lab this. I haven't done a whole lot of it. It's really good for baiting DPs, or not even baiting DPs. It's because it's so disjointed. You can melee with 2S to get out of reversal situations. So like, of course, let's turn them off. Turn this off. So like a good scenario. I'm trying to think of like a really practical one. Maybe like something like this, like that. You don't have to worry. You don't have to really worry about reversals against, especially against Kai and Bridget. Like it's super easy for them to like just use the tip of it to make it whiff. This also does work on Soul and Leo, but it requires like probably more specific setups. And I know it works. Like there are a few that I've been trying to play with, but I haven't found a one that I feel is like okay, like I just do this. I don't have to worry about Soul or Leo reversals. I haven't found one like that yet. Uh, so I'm trying to think about another keys for 2S really. This I mean, just think so like if I were to describe it real quick, Fire Slash is like your aggressive move, and then 2S is your defensive move. Uh, right? That's like how I would kind of explain it, right? And of course, it's like because the range of these moves are very similar. I find that Sin doesn't have too much to really doesn't have to really worry about people just doing this like all the time. You know how it's pretty common to see people match 6P. I feel like Sin doesn't really have that problem because just how his buttons work, which is pretty cool. 2H. I wanted to just say this is mainly just for combo pieces. The big factor about this move though is it's also a low, so and it's also a true block string from Close Slash. So there's no hole for them if you do something like this. And you can follow the big driver, and there's completely no hole for reversal in there. And so why 2H is important for the low situation is because sometimes you just need a low that... So like the big thing is like, well 2K doesn't always get, like doesn't have great reward. And then if you want more reward, you can go for 2H for the low. And so like a common scenario would probably be something like I mean, this is like really ghetto. This is what you would do. Like you could do something like that, or you go for the low with this, right? The time that so 2H is a lot faster than the overhead, so you have to manually delay it. So just be really careful with that. Oh, I guess one more thing. It is disjointed, but it's like really hard to use the disjoint on it. I don't know how I test this. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you if I was a whiff punish or not. Yeah, there you go. It has like a bit of a disjoint on the tip of it, and so there are gonna be. I mean, there's been like maybe a handful. Maybe, I want to say like less than 10 in like all of my games played where I was like, oh, 2H is the answer here for like stuffing a low. It could be really good against characters that are like maybe Happy Chaos or something that they do a lot of dash 2Ks. But like of course be mind if this move whiffs, you're in a world of suffering. So I don't know if it's always the best, but it does work in that scenario. Like we're like because of the disjoint. But I mean also 2S would work as well. So it's hard it's hard to state like a lot of his buttons because 2S exists. Like 2S will do everything. Like that's kind of like my opinion. All right, so 2D, 10 frames. I feel like the use of this move has gone down drastically because Far Slash is 11 frames now. So, but for 1 frame faster, you do have 2D. Uh, I think this is probably your best round start option. But I mean, like, of course, it doesn't reach. But like it'll be like 11 frame starts or trade with 10 frame starts. So it's up to you if you want to use it. You do get a reward off of it, like on any hit, counter hit or not. All right, you would just do the same combo you've seen me do like 1,000 times. It's just this, too. Right? You just get that. Uh, I mean, I really do use it like to check, but it has the same problem where if they were to mash 6P, like once if you go to 2D, you don't have any like tight block strings, so you're in. Oopsie, why is he jumping? Well, I know why he's jumping because I made him jump. There's no, it doesn't gallon anything, right? So in all honesty, what I like to do is I just hold it and then cancel into DP. Or go for a beat driver. It really depends. I mean, when I get to special moves, I'll kind of talk about how you can use hoof stomp and beat or L cut to kind of like facilitate your weaknesses. When things go awry. So that's 2D. So okay, we're gonna get to like the worst part about Sin. His jump normals, they're atrocious. They're super bad. They're like probably the worst in the game. Well, okay, well, yeah, they probably are the worst in the game, I think. But they do have some like when they do shine pretty well. So 5P, I don't or jump P, I don't know what this move does. I mean, you'll use it because it's fast, it's pretty far, and it's something to chase your opponent in the air. But the that's what it does for. Like, if you see something in the air and you need like a really fast point, you could go for it and just kind of try to hopefully bring them down. But I realistically don't use this move a whole lot. Maybe I should, but I really don't. Jump K. I use this move a lot, mainly because like there's like matchups where this move is just really important to use, right? Notably like Zato and Milia. I mean, that's how it was in season 2. It's still like this for season 3 for Milia. Zato might not be. I don't know. Zato's an interesting spot right now. So Jump K, what it does is it hits above him, and so like when I see Milia in the air, I'm just flying in the air like this, just doing this move. And I want to mention that like you might not be able to convert off of this. It's just how Sin's air normals are, and that's how his conversions are. They suck. So you're gonna be hitting the pair. Like, you're gonna be like, sick. I landed the hit. What do I do? Nothing. You absolutely most of the times get nothing. Right? Like converting with his buttons is like a blessing if you get it. It's like more luck than anything else. Uh, right? Like I couldn't give you a like, hey, just do this. Like, hey, when you land the air hit, you could just do this air combo. There's nothing like that for Sin. Well, I guess what you can do, I guess I didn't really mention this, is that you can do air right lightning. And that, but don't worry, that usually works. So don't worry about it. But yeah, you usually can just confirm your air hits into right the lightning for stability. I actually don't know if it's actually better to do a Roman cancel now. I haven't really explored that yet because they nerf ride the lightning's let damage. So going from an air hit to Roman cancel into a combo might be more viable than RTL. Jump H. So alright, wait, I thought jump slash. So jump slash is probably your best jump in, but I want to mention that it doesn't really hit crouchers, as you can see. So this is like the big flaw of Sin, right? Um, what this really translates to is people that have low profiling crouching normals, you're gonna see them just mash it a lot, and you're never gonna hit them. It's just that's how it is. It's really unfortunate. So you can't really use your jump hits as an approach with Sin at a much higher level. It just doesn't really work. If you're lucky, because people are still going to want to stand because they see you jumping in, but at a much later level, they're going to only crouch, and you're going to realize that you have to approach from the ground, and that's going to be the bad spot. So I think people want me to talk about this too. So you have to learn how to do this. Let me do this. Oh my god, I suck at this one. I do. So I mentioned this right in the part 1 where you have to do FD cancel air dash jump slash for a conversion. It also kind of works for your safe jumps. I haven't really explored how his safe jumps work in this game because the new 2H kind of makes things a little bit more stable in a way that's like really beneficial. But I haven't done a lot of safe jump setups, right? But like the really big classic one is just doing this. I mean, of course, if I were to block that, but that's like the classic, right? So yeah, you're gonna have to spend some time learning how to do that if you want to do safe jumps with Sin. Or not, I mean, like, realistically, if you fight Kai, as I was saying, uh... I mean, if you want to learn safe jumps or just use 2S, it's up to you. Jump D! So we're gonna go to this move. So this move is pretty... I use this move more than I would you probably think. Maybe like 1 in every 3 matches. Like once every 3 matches I'll use it. So what do I use this for? The big one is for something like this. So like if I can get if I think they're gonna do 6Ps, which they probably won't once people start to understand that since jump normals suck, they'll just start matching jabs and stuff. But yeah, that's like the one reason you do that is to beat 6Ps, and of course it goes into a combo if you do the same route as per usual. That one, and so it's pretty good. It's just that it's a lot of risk. Like this move is really slow. The hurt box is like ginormous. It's so big that you just get hit all the time doing this move. So I don't really recommend it unless you're looking for something specific, like super specific. The other reason, so like I was mentioning how his jump normals are kind of garbage. So what I like to do is something like, let's say I think, oh, they're gonna throw me, right? Right, they're gonna throw me. I would do shit. Well, just imagine that worked. Because typically you don't do it in response to them jumping in. But like, let's say you're going for a tick throw. Go. Oh. counterattack. There it is, 2. Like this. So you'd be using like that. Like that. And so why this is good is because, uh, it's easier to pick up a combo. I think for if you do a jump normal, I guess I can do that too. But I don't know. I use it more so for the throw, like whiff attempt. And I don't know why I steered away from just trying to do like a counter hit confirm. Because it is a counter hit confirm, right? But yeah, that's kind of where I use Jump D for, right? It's like anti 6P and for throw attempts. And yeah, I don't know. I'm doing this video. I'm kind of thinking because like I don't know why I do it, and I want to be like, you know, like why I do that because I think because like I'm so scarred from watching his jump normals whiff on my opponent that I don't trust them to even hit a throw attempt, like a throw whiff. Right. But you know, maybe I'll put some more time into the jump normals, and if I do figure out anything cool, I will get back to you guys about that one. So that was jump D. I think I did all the normals, all the jump normals. So command normals. All right, we're gonna talk about this one. 6K. I use this a lot still to this point. Mainly because like it kind of lets you keep free pressure, assuming you can get away with it, right? What do I mean by getting away with it? So it loses to 5-frame trade, like mash, or it trades with 5 frames, and it'll lose to 4 frames. And so specifically from, how am I gonna do this? I'll do over here. We'll do 5P. So 2P, project P. Um, oopsies. Turn that off from the guard. So here's an example, right? Oh, right. You're gonna see that a lot. But I mean, typically you can get the person to kind of respect you because like you don't do it a whole lot. I also use it for meaty for chasing because it all has a pretty good chunk of backdash or active frame, so it's pretty good for chasing backdashes. So yeah, this is my big thing, right? I'll do it from this, right? And even if they do trade with it, you can pick it up with the usual. There are better options, like if you're able to confirm it more. I think you can do, yeah, I think you can do that. Or like, let's say you're doing this into this. Shoot. Like that, you get that 2k6h or something. So there is reward on it. I just find the like the confirm to be kind of not great, so I don't always like to do it. Or I don't like to confirm like the follow up. Typically, is what I'm saying. Like on a trade, I just take the knockdown and just run at them. What other uses for 6K? Oh right, so like something that's kind of funny is that it does a command normal, so you could do stuff like this. Like that, like because it has a pretty like a chunk of range on it, and so this is pretty fun. If you do like a max paint range like a normal, like that, it's pretty good. Anything else for 6K? So mainly, but it's mainly used. So what I think the biggest purpose is that you want to find a way to go into 6K. So like let's say you're really low on stamina, because they have to respect you because it's +3, right? It's +3, and typically you're like in range to press 5K or 2K. It gives you time to build stamina, and that's why like when you're low on stamina, I kind of recommend you kind of try to figure out how to get them into 6K, because at least you know they're gonna have to respect you because they know you're in plus frames. So they're going to be a little bit more hesitant on what they do, right? Because remember, I didn't mention this because we haven't found the gauges, right? But like if you're hitting the opponent, uh, shit. If you're hitting the opponent, you're actually not building gauge, right? It's not going up, right? And so you kind of want that hesitation between like 6K because to build your stamina back up. All right, so next one's 6H. I mean, this is probably the most common scenario you're going to see this. It's probably used for. It's probably used for like this, like you do something like this. You'll see this, like that. It's typically used for those, like, I would say it's used mainly for, like, your big punishes. Like, if you don't, because, like, getting close slash is kind of tricky sometimes, so, like, you just go into 6H and you get a nice combo. I guess I could show you what I know for the combos. Let's see here, so... what would I do? Right, that's pretty common for like that kind of like mid screen. You can do that. In the corner, it's probably one of your better starters. There was a route I was trying to play with earlier. Easy combo is easy. And there's like a bajillion damage. So yeah, I mean, I wanna talk about one major flaw is that if you want to use it as a stagger, I don't have a good character for it to show you, but it loses to low profiling and 6Ps. Like this is like a big problem. So like it feels pretty bad to use it in block string. So I feel like it's mainly a combo port or like a whiff punish tool. Something that's pretty good though about 6H is that the block sound on it's like really weird. And so every once in a while, I'll end my block strings in it with it, and then just kind of go for like a mix up for it, mainly like a crouch jab or something. But I mean, it's such a mash, so it's not gonna really work. But I do use it every once in a while. It's only -4, so it's a pretty safe way to end your strings if you can't get there safely, right? Because like once you get to close slash, your options of ending your strings are like 2S, 6-8, like or 2H basically, right? And if you want to keep your stamina, well, I mean 5H is actually just safer. But because you can control the timing of it, you don't have to worry about instant blocking and whatnot, so that's where 6H comes in. So, real quick, I guess we'll do a quick summary of the moves. Well, key normals I recommend was learning how to do 5k, cart, dash cancel, 2S for keep out, right? Far slash for just initiating your combat, right? Because it goes on the beak driver and whatnot. 5H for pressure. Jump D if you want to look cool. Jump K if they're Milia. That's like literally how you see it. Jump K if they're Milia. Oh, wait, did we do jump heavy? Oh shit, I skipped jump heavy. Yeah, so jump heavy has the same problem as jump slash, where it does tend to whiff, right? So the benefit though is that this move is actually it hits crouchers on the way if you could do something retreating like this, and so it's pretty good as a keep out tool. Like if you have a strong life lead and you want to leverage that advantage on them, running away with jump heavy until you get to the corner is completely viable. The answers for it are pretty low, right? They have the dash up with the 6B. But I mean, like if you're running away like doing this and this and this and that, like 2S every once in a while, it's the approach is pretty hard, especially if they don't have a fireball. Like they're gonna have to commit to some kind of like weak approach, and that's where I use it the most is just running away. The main purpose though, even though it doesn't hit crouchers, is that like because the range is so good on it, you're gonna do something like you're gonna see like that, right? Kai's like all the way over there. You just want to clip them with it, right? So it's like good if you kind of know what you're looking for, like gun flames, fireballs. I think all the fireballs, this movie is actually really good for just by kind of like clipping them, right? Because you can do it from so far away, right? Okay, not that far away, but I mean that was almost close. But yeah, because you can do it from so far away, it's a really good threat on fireball characters. Because like at this range, people are thinking, "Oh, I can do a fireball," and then you're just like, "No," right? Okay, so now that's all the normals, all right, and I won't do the recap again, but so yeah, jump H and 2S are really good for defensive plays. Far slash for approaching, right? I mean, 2S is also really good for approaching. 2S does everything. Like if you don't know what to do, you just press 2S. Like if you're at neutral and you're just like, what do I do? Just press this play. Dude, is that really it? I feel like there's more to say, like about the general this of those moves, but I think realistically you only use this move, jump K after Milia, jump H for handling like fireballs, and then running away. Is it just those 4 moves? I think realistically, if you use those 4 moves, you're probably gonna be set up to be really Gucci. And then at a later point, yeah, make sure you do the 5k card cancel stuff. It's just for added pickup. All right, cool. That should be normal. So tomorrow, whenever the next video should be, it should be specials. If I'm feeling really savvy, it'll be out later today, but we'll see if I have the time for it. All right, guys. Everyone, thank you for listening. I really appreciate the comments. You guys are helping me out a lot with like kind of focusing on what I should do for the videos. And of course, yeah, all these videos are going to be kind of long just because I want to spend the time to talk about every move individually. And also, if you do leave a comment about a specific move, it's actually pretty easy for me to find what you're talking about because I'll know exactly what it is in the video. All right, everyone, thank you. Take care of yourselves. I will catch you later.